Alright, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day, a lovely night wherever you're from. And real quick before we get started, as always, I want to give a lovely shout out to the channel members on this channel. So thank you so much to these lovely commanders here that you see on screen. Thank you guys so much for your guys' constant generosity and supports me as always. It really means a lot to me, so thank you guys so much. And if you guys are actually interested in becoming a lovely commander yourself, you are interested in any of these cute and lovely emotes, the loyalty crown badges, you want a special role in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord. But as always, if you choose to do so, thank you so much. Just remember, that's not the only way that you can support me. Just watching the content like you are right now is truly the best way. Liking, subscribing, and commenting, everything really does help, so thank you guys so much. And for today's video, as you can hear from the sound of my voice, I'm a lot better now. Thank you guys for the well wishes. Been doing a lot of just trying to recover and stuff, grinding a lot of CZN and surface mode, but we gotta talk about Liberalio one final time and give my overall impressions. As always with this type of video, I like to break it down into 3 categories. I like to talk about the timing and the income in your account, everything in between. I like to talk about the waifu aspect, which is always subjective, but I love to talk about it. Then I love to talk about the testing, the equipment, the skills, and everything, and then get to talking about some testing results. So let's get started. And I'll be honest, right now is kind of an interesting time because I feel like at this point for all of the new players right now, like if you're new, I feel like right now is the best time to try to get them, especially if you reroll and get lucky, because there's a lot of freebies this event. Everything makes it a lot easier to start out. But if you're already past the 160 wall at this point, especially with meta characters like Nayuta and Jelly Girl, I do feel like it's pretty much good to go for 1 copy, especially go for more if you care about raids, but honestly, it's never necessary. And even then, I feel like you can be competitive with just a single copy as long as you do a lot of investment. I feel like it's fair game. But right now, honestly, I feel like most people either they already got their copy or they just pitied it, depending on who you are, which is perfectly fine. But I feel like the most efficient way, which takes a lot of patience because even I didn't do that back before I did content, was to pull singles every day until the last day, and then either do your pulling session or go for the pity copy. Basically to see if you got lucky or not, but not everyone does that, which I understand because even I don't do that. But I do think right now is a great time to get a copy of both characters. And right now, waifu aspect-wise, it's kind of a shame because I do love her design and I wish she got a lot more TLC in terms of outfits. Like, the Siren skin looks cute and all, but like, I really wish Jelly Girl got something because as much as I love how she looks basic-wise, it would be awesome if she at least got an event pass outfit. It's kind of a missed opportunity because I do think that they could do some fun designs with it and she looks cute. I do love the purples, the branding that she has, the red eyes. It looks great. The actual jellyfish look, I actually think it's fantastic. One of the like earliest times we've seen her, and finally we get to have her, which it's been years, which is kind of crazy. So that's awesome. But let's be real here, okay? The back shots, the costume potential is crazy with our backshot girl, because the way that she looks at the player with this pose, whoever made this design knew what they were doing, all right? It's kind of crazy. I'm just saying, like, that reload animation is insane. 10 out of 10, good shooting, and everything in between. A little bit of JPS, a little bit, could be more, but the way that she shoots is unique, but still, that's like actual back shots. It's kind of crazy. And then even her chibi looks cute. A little design on it, it looks cute. I do wish it was a bit more round, like a bit bigger, kind of like a ball rather than almost flattened, but that's just nitpicking, honestly. I do think it looks great. I think the chibis are fun, but we got to talk about her because I did a lot of investment in her. As you can see, I have her at bond level 40, ML bead, I have her doll maxed out, everything in between, OL level 5. As usual, when it comes to cubes though, I do have her with a resilience cube. Now I'm going to talk about that in a little bit because the first thing that I want to talk about is the equipment overload. Obviously you want to get her overload. She does a lot of damage, so if you can try to get her to 5, even better, to max out as much as you can. When it comes to her lines, I actually kind of got some decent lines. I got a good bit of blue lines. It was kind of weird. Good bit of elemental, a decent amount of crit, a random black hit rate line that I guess I'm going to keep just because it's black line, some more elemental, and some charge speed here. I want to reroll this line a little bit so I can get more out of it, so that's why this one's kind of like the one that I'm still working on. But basic stuff, honestly, you want to go for elemental and attack, but a bonus as well if you could get some max ammo with her because she does only have 6 shots. So if you could get more, even better. If not, it's not going to hurt you because even with my testing, I don't have max ammo on her. She's fantastic, so that's why I'm going to give her resilience, so even better. But let's talk about skills because once again, when it comes down to it, especially with this type of unit, all meta. Nayuta the same way. Minimum 777 if you can go all the way. With these type of units, you really see their max potential when they are fully maxed out. And I'm gonna be honest, guys, I forgot to completely reset my chime before those skill resets went away. So now I have a 10-10-10 chime, and I'm kind of sad about it. So fuck me. It is what it is. Hopefully we get another one for New Year's Eve. We'll have to see. But let's talk about her skills real quick, because there's some things that you do need to keep in mind. Because with her skill 1, activates when entering full burst and affects the 1 burst stage 3 ally with the lowest final attack. Charge speed goes up 12.74% of the caster's charge speed for 10 seconds. This is highly, meant for pretty much just SBS, right? Like, this benefits her so much. But here's the thing, you have to be careful with this, because it goes back to the lowest final attack for stage 3 ally. So, if you have more than 2 B3s there, it could go to them and it won't go to SBS, and what you're trying to do is not going to work. So, the one big caveat that, to me, it's not really a negative, because Nikke has become so flexible with units, especially for solo raid. We come up with wacky shit. So I don't think it's that much of a negative, because even I tend to just have 2 B3s anyway in my teams. So 2 B3s, 2 B2s, and a B1, I feel like that's going to be the comp you're going with if you're using Liberalio for calm depths. But I honestly think that's not really a big deal. I feel like that's kind of manageable anyway. But for a moment, I do want to talk about her skill too, because it's pretty dependent on whether she's going to have a lot of damage or not, depending on the stage, if there's ads or not, because it says right here, activates when landing full charge attacks and affects self if the enemy hit is the stage target. You get Raging Current, the attack damage goes up 231% continuously, and removes Gentle Current. But here's the thing, activates when landing full charge attacks and affects self if the enemy hit is a raptor that is not the stage target, like an ad. Gentle Current fixes charge time at 1 second continuously and dispels Raging Current. Raging Current gives you a lot of attack damage. Now, if there are ads and then she starts targeting those ads because you're let's say you're just doing auto, that can affect a lot of your damage right there. So there's going to be cases where she's not going to be doing as good or big numbers like that when there are ads on the stages. That's just something that you're going to need to keep in mind. But for most of the time, if we're talking about raids or anything, it's not really going to be negligible or anything like that, so you don't need to worry about it. Her burst skill is pretty self-explanatory. Burst skill, Submerged World, affects self. Attack damage goes up 50%, 10 seconds, and affects all enemies. Deals a whopping 925% of the final attack as additional damage. Really good numbers, but you can see why you really need to max her out. Just gotta be careful with a few things, and honestly, it's not that big of a deal to me, but those are just things that you need to keep in mind. Now, when it comes to testing, I did a few testing. I did a quick DPS check just in wind testing in Union shooting range. Did some off-element testing just to see how she would be doing. And then I did some Kraken, and Kraken is kind of crazy now. I want to talk about that, so let's get to talking about the results. So first things first, when we're talking about this wind testing, the first thing I did was actually just do a pure DPS check using Nayuta, Liberalio, Little Mermaid, SBS, and I used Crown. And the results are kind of crazy. I hit 19 billion in my wind shooting range, highest number I've gotten so far. Nayuta doing 4.1 billion, Liberalio almost hitting 6 billion, Little Mermaid doing 2.7 billion, and SBS doing 5.5 billion, while also being buffed by Liberalio, by the way, just to mention. Crazy numbers right here. It's crazy how good she is. And I'm gonna be honest, they're pretty close. They have the same element, by the way. My elemental percentage for Liberalio and SBS are the same. My attack, I almost have no attack on Liberalio. It's kind of crazy. But they are pretty much the same, which is wild to me. So, Liberalio doing some numbers. Overall, I do personally feel like Liberalio is the best wind unit now, which is crazy to say because SBS is absolutely a tank. Now, when I did some off-element testing here, I used Chime with Crown, Liberalio, Little Mermaid versus Rappy Red Hood. Obviously, Rappy Red Hood in Iron testing is going to be absolutely dominating, 5.2 billion. Crown doing really good numbers, by the way, 3.5 billion. Getting somewhat close, over more than half, close to Rappy Red Hood. That's actually a feat. That's crazy. Liberalio doing almost 2.4 billion, which I'm kind of surprised about. That's not bad at all, considering that I only have 7% attack. So most of this is just coming from Liberalio is kind of crazy. So that's awesome to see. But here's where it's really interesting. I did another comparison in Iron testing, but this time I used Red Hood. And my god, man, I love Red Hood. But we have come a long way in power creep since Red Hood. I remember the whole drama when it came down to Red Hood when she came out because her numbers weren't the ones advertised on the stream. and they've stopped that mistake since then. But it's kind of crazy because Red Hood used to be the absolute power creep, right? Now we have Crown, because of Chime, doing more than my Red Hood. Crazy stuff. Not only that, but Liberalio catching up there. 2.3 billion, and Red Hood doing 2.7 billion. The fact that she's getting close is crazy. Red Hood has had her time, she still has her place, but damn, has she fallen off. But still an amazing unit, by the way, don't get me wrong, I'm just saying. Comparing the power creep differences, though, is very noticeable now, especially with Liberalio, but that's crazy. And then I did Kraken testing. Now, Kraken testing was fun. This is the earliest that I've finished Kraken now, using this team. Now, I am getting close to level 600, I think I'm like almost 590. Liberalio, Nayuta, Little Mermaid, SBS, and Crown. My Liberalio did more than my SBS, but still, it's like really close, like 1.632 billion versus 1.559 billion. So pretty comparable numbers right there, getting really close to each other. Nayuta, just an absolute god with Little Mermaid, somehow getting close with like 1.1 billion, and Little Mermaid doing almost 1 billion. Still crazy stuff. You can get through this, at least at my level. You can just tank the early shots from Kraken, like his AoE, and not have to worry about using your shield and cover until the last minute when you really need to do it because his hits get really heavy, and you're good to go. You can just power through it because Nayuta's healing is so good, plus Liberalio's damage and buffing SBS. It's just chef's kiss. It's really good, and it's the earliest and easiest Kraken like wipe I've ever done. So GG's for that. That's really good. Do let me know if you're using this type of team or if you're using something different and getting similar results. Always happy to know. But do let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this Annie in terms of Nayuta and Liberalio. Are you guys happy about it? Honestly, for me, pretty damn happy about it. I really like Nayuta. She has a lot of potential. She's great. She's strong as hell. She's doing her job great. Not replacing Crown. Crown has her own buffer now too. So overall, pretty solid W, and Liberalio is just crazy. Cannot wait to see how New Year's Eve is going to be. Really excited for that as well, but that is going to be it for me. So I hope you guys have a lovely day, lovely night wherever you're from, and as always, thank you so much for the constant support. Take care, and have a good one.